What's going on, people? Welcome to the match preview. It is one of the biggest games in our history. Lou's got shades on. Patrick is flying down, and we'll be all going to the game. But it is the FA Cup final in Wembley. Crystal Palace versus Man City. We are here. We've been manifesting this every single cup game. The reaction would be, can we go all the way? And we're here. One win away from rewriting history. Not just for today, forever. These players could be legends and the manager as well. So it's a massive game for us, massive game for the fans. And yeah, look, thinking about the game, it's already emotional. There's excitement, there's nerves. But if there's one group of players and manager that could get it done, I believe it could be this one. So let's see what happens. Well, we're going to be discussing that, what the game means to us, as well as the previous City game and talking about squad selection this one. Drop a like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Lou, let's start off with you. Where on earth are you? Because that is definitely not South London. I can tell you for that. Might be Brighton.
It's Barnet.
Where are you?
Costa del Barnet. Now I'm in Greece. Listen, part one of this mad trip.
Yeah, you got a mad trip. Tell us about your trip.
Listen, I'm here for 40 hours. Then I'm back for 40 hours. Then I'm back in Greece. So it's either when I return, it's going to be 4 or 5 days of partying, or I'm just going to be escaping the trauma. But I believe in this team, man. It's our time.
Yeah. Patrick, you'll be flying down. Of course, for the final, you flew down for the last final as well. How are you feeling ahead of this one?
Incredibly anxious, excited, looking forward to the game. Obviously, flying out tonight. My son's flying out Saturday morning, so he'll be at the final. We have a good record together. He and I were at the championship playoff final together. We won. He didn't come to the 2016 final. I did, as Lou said, very traumatic. I really haven't gotten over that. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We have to win this game. I don't even know what else to say. We have to win this game. It's just like I don't even know how else to even say it. Just keep it simple. People talk about third time lucky, etc. We have to win this game. I don't even know. I mean, I'm not looking forward to playing Man City. I know how good they are. We'll get into that in a bit, but I wish it's been somebody slightly easier. But we have to win this game. I don't even know how to say it anymore. We have to win. I can't deal with losing this game again for the second time, seeing it, third time in our history. I can't deal with the trauma. I can't.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I haven't even thought about the loss. But Patrick, just quickly, how much does this game mean to you? I know you keep saying we have to win this game, but you being the longest fan out of everyone here, so you've seen Palace in the down times and the up times as well. But for you, in comparison to previous finals and previous managers and squads, how big is this game to you?
It's massive. And going back to when I was a kid, again, people know my roots. My brother was a Bull boy. My dad took me when I was very, very young to go to Palace. I grew up in Thornton Heath. So the Palace, it runs deep in my family. My father passed away a few years ago, so he won't be able to, unfortunately, see this. But I'm just looking. It's a massive, massive game. It's just hard to really get my head around how important it is. If Palace win this game for me, I'm complete as a Palace fan. They don't do anything else the rest of my life. I don't care. If they can get relegated 20 times, losing Europe next year, I don't care. If Palace win this cup final, I don't complain about Palace anyway, but I will be the happiest Palace fan out there. It will complete me as a supporter. I mean, going there as a 6-7-year-old in the White Horse, and then seeing my brother right in front of me, and then to now with my son. It just has to happen. But as far as how big this game is, it's massive. I mean, I thought the playoff final was big at the time because we had to get back in the Premier League. But back then, I expected us to get relegated the next season. And we weren't. We've been in the league now, 12, 13 years. I think this squad is best we've had in the Premier League. I think this manager is perfect manager for this game. So everything is right. The only thing I'm worried about is the opponent. The opponent is very, very good. And that scares me. But as far as our team, our manager, and our support, it'll be top notch on Saturday. So it's a great opportunity to win.
Yeah, that's how I see it as well, Lou. Of course, your dad hasn't seen Palace win a major honor as well. And I think it's for the generation that haven't seen it, as well as the current one. This is something which we've never done before in our history. And it sounds so basic, but winning a trophy. For you, of course, you've been a season ticket holder since you was a kid. Going into this comparison to other finals, I know you've been a bit more confident than you have, even though you're normally a nervous wreck on game day. I'm just the manager. Then, do you think that's the difference maker? That can be the difference maker in this one comparison to the other?
Yeah, this manager's he's different. He's a perfect cup manager, like Pat said. He's a man of the people. I think he's just a great person in general. Just the way he speaks, everything about him. But yeah, this game feels like it's like been a lead up for 26 years to one moment. That's how this game feels to me. Like, my dad's 63. His dad died without seeing a trophy, just like Pat's father passed away. This is like we're like 33 years into the third generation, and we've never seen any glory. And yeah, it's just like, and you meet so many because there's not that many Palace fans about. Like, there's a lot of us, but like, no, there's not. You don't bump into loads of Palace fans. And everyone's just been asking me, do you think you can do it? Oh, we want you to do it. We want you to do it. And do you think you can do it? And I'm just looking at it like, I'm like, of course I think. Like, you're asking me too many questions. Like, it's too emotional. Like, but yeah, I think it's going to be a special day Saturday. And like, imagine we just get to win and we all get to celebrate together. And it's just that moment everyone gets to share. Like Glasner says when he was telling the players, like, you can't buy this. And that moment, if we win, will be like it'll be up there with the birth of my child. I'll be honest. It's neck and neck.
that's crazy. But I hear it though. I hear it because it is a massive moment in the club's history, and that's why I said it at the start. If we were to do it, these players will never. One day we'll all go, right? That's life. We're not going to be here. But the thing is, these players and this manager will never ever be written off the history books. You're there forever. You're
immortalized, bro. Immortalized. All of
what?
It. They'll all be immortalized.
Exactly. In history books, only one win. One win is all it takes, and the thought of that should. And we've got the right manager. I truly believe that, as you mentioned, Lou, like, this manager has won before, and he seemed like a great guy more than anything. Even his post-match speech to the players that we saw after the semi-final win, the Aston Villa one, you can tell like he believes in the character of these players. He's believed in his players all along. It hasn't been all great. You know, we have struggled at some parts of the season. However, if the players didn't believe in the manager, if the manager didn't believe in the players, we wouldn't be in this position anyways. You know, we've bounced back. We've bounced back from struggles. And of course, you both will know better than me because I was younger. I was probably like around 10 years old. But 2010, we weren't going to be a football club. Like, this club has gone through a lot of steps. A lot of struggles to get to this point now where we're talking about building, for example, a new stand that could be worth £200 million. Just a stand, not a stadium. You know, we've been progressing along the way. And some people have seen just the lows. They haven't seen the highs. Unfortunately, they're not with us today. But for them, for us, and for the future, for the next generation, this would be massive. It will be the start of something that should have happened probably maybe against Man United last time in 2016. Or you could talk about the previous FA Cup final as well, which I wasn't alive around them times. But hopefully it happens now, because honestly, it would mean so much. Not just to Palace, but the community.
Quick question. What the feeling? Do you not remember how it felt before the United game? Do you actually? Because I feel like I was so upset after. I don't remember how I felt before. Do you remember how you felt before? Have you felt like this before a game? Before, like, have you?
I think I was nervous. I think I was more nervous than I am now. I don't know why, because we're facing Man City, but I feel like I was nervous, also excited. Around that time, I was young anyway. So
I feel like we didn't. That team was like, it was like the last dying bits of the playoff team, where it had Jedinek and people like that in it.
Right.
But it felt disjointed with the Pardew and the whole situation. I think Glenn, when he kicked out Glenn Murray and stuff like that, and he was clashing with players. and the dance that he done. That's all we're known for from that
Punch
final.
started on the bench as well. We came off the bench, so Punch didn't
Yeah.
start the game, and we weren't great in the league as well. Remember, there were talks
That's what
about
I mean.
him to be sacked as well. Like it was more about hopium more than anything
Yeah.
going into that game. Like, can we do it with these group of players? Maybe the character steps up, but if you look at the talent wise, it wasn't. I mean, we still had some good players, but it wasn't as talented, in my opinion, as this squad. And
I know it was kind of relying on Wilf, and this one feels like a group of like they're not only are they like unbelievable individually, they're just like so cohesive. They look like you know when I know it was like maybe a bit dramatic. Do you remember before the Fulham game, Pat, and I was like, these players got to die for this.
Right.
It feels like that Fulham and that Villa game. That's what they did. That's what this seems like they'll all die for each other on that pitch. So it's just one more push. But yeah, I don't feel like I've ever felt like this before a game. But at the same time, I obviously I know we can lose the game, but I'm ready to deal with it at the same time. I think like I don't know how I'll take it, but I know we couldn't. I know they'll go out there and give everything they got. Like I know that.
So for me, 1990 was an interesting because we had beaten Liverpool in the semi 4-3, and back then Liverpool was one of the best teams in Europe, and that was a massive win. I thought we could take that momentum into the final. Unfortunately, with Ian Wright being injured, he came on to score the 2 goals, but him not being 100% fit probably cost us. And then the extra time, and then obviously losing the replay. But in 2016, I didn't think United team was even that good. They had Rooney, they had a very young Rashford, they had Mata, Fellaini, but I didn't think they were that good. I really thought we had a chance, but you guys are right. I think the problem with that team was that we were very disjointed going into that final. We had lost quite a big game. D was right, or Lou just mentioned Pardew was probably going to be on the outs, and that was a lot of negativity around that. But I thought we had a chance. And again, I just remember, I'm not going to forget, I remember the Wickham opportunity right away. Wickham, then he blew the whistle. We got 1-0 early in that game. It's a different game for me. You can say that about any football game. But even then, even when Punch scored that goal, we had 15 minutes left. I looked up. I never forget. I looked up to the sky. I started crying. Say again.
79 minutes he scored on.
So it was like 12 minutes left in the game, and I looked up. I literally started crying. People around me were crying. I was like, I can't be winning in a cup final. I mean, we might win the cup, and then what was it? 5 minutes later, Marta get the header from Fellaini and knocked it down and scored. Mooney makes that cross. So that was a weird final for me, 2016. And I remember the emotions of, again, the joy with the punching goal, the despair at the winning goal by Lingard. I can't go through that again. I really can't go through that again. I just can't. The emotional roller coaster for that game was devastating. I remember walking out, like, stadium, friend of mine was with me. He was so upset. United fans didn't give a what about the game. They wanted the manager gone, and he was gone by the time I got to the train station, basically. I mean, they didn't even care that they'd won the game. And that's what really got me upset. It's like it was nothing to them to win the cup. And for us, it would have meant the world. So for me on Saturday, to win again would mean so much more to us than it would even mean to Man City fans. So again, we have to find a way to win that game somehow. Find a way.
Yeah. Just quickly talking about that United game, when we scored that goal, that feeling was like top one. Genuinely, I don't have any kids. I don't have I don't have those moments yet in my life. So that feeling was unreal. It's just a thought. In my head, I was like, wow, we are actually going to do it. Like, we are actually going to do it. And 100%. To feel that again, I don't know how I would feel if we go 1-0 up because maybe there is a bit of PTSD from the United game, but it was amazing.
Is it weird that the Sarr second goal felt better than the punching goal? That Sarr second goal was, apart from...
I think that is weird.
The Sarr second goal is on par with Zaha's second goal against Brighton, for me.
He did it for me. I was very stressed out for the semi, so it was a great goal, but I didn't feel the euphoria I felt with the punching goal. Punching goal was just wild.
It was 4 minutes after a penalty miss. That's why.
I get it. But I was so stressed out in that semi. I found I couldn't even enjoy it until the third goal went in. So
I think everyone feels it differently. Yeah, that punching one, it went in, but not really a part of me thought it was so surreal. I didn't feel like we were going to win it. Whereas if this team goes 1-0 up, like I'm thinking we're going to win this. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, but for me, the punching goal was a different kind of feeling. The Sarr second goal was like, we're already winning. it's like another goal. Of course, it felt amazing, but the puncher one was like,
the puncher one was amazing.
Like 10 minutes away potentially from winning this damn cup. We've been there before, and for that reason, it was that feeling. I think the next step to match that feeling or get better than that is actually winning this cup and letting the result come that way, because it was unreal. Let's quickly talk about Man City then, the most recent game. In that game, we didn't have Mark. But what did you think of now we've had a bit of time to reflect on the City game, Patrick? That was very unlike Palace. Very unlike Palace. The result, 5-2, conceded 5 goals away from home. We could have been 3-0 up in the first half. So it wasn't like a 5-2 result. I think second half we kind of crumbled. But overall, I mean, there was some positives out of the team still.
Yeah, loads of them. I think going up 2-0 could have been 3-0 easy the first 30 minutes. I thought we played some beautiful counter-attacking football in that game. You know, the great goal that we scored. The unfortunate part was the Kamada foul that led to the De Bruyne goal. So if we go in at 2-0, I think we have a good chance to win that game. But again, Glazer admitted he made a mistake at halftime, taking off JP and changing the formation didn't work, leaving Sarr up top by himself, leaving Eze. So all the threat we had from having Sarr in there was gone when he went up to be a striker. So from that standpoint, I think it was a mistake. But again, they were at home, and you guys probably remember the fans were turning on City at 2-0. They're really down on them. If it's a neutral Wembley event and we go up 2-0, I can't see City coming back like that. It's not going to be that same feel. So I'm confident in the way we played in that first 30 minutes. Again, I told you guys I watched that 30 minutes back at least 5 times because that was some great football we played. After that goal, I turned it off. But if we can go up 2-0 and play that kind of football, I'm confident that Glasner, he said it. He feels like Pep can't play that same way again against us. And I feel that if we can play that way, take that 30 into the 90, we'll do okay. But it doesn't diminish what I feel the threat from City are going to be. Haaland always scores against us. Mamouche, great player. De Bruyne, one of the best people that have played in the Premier League. So there are some threats on City I'm really worried about. But I feel that on our day, we definitely have a chance.
Yeah, 100%. T, we're joined by T as well. For you, we're talking about the occasion and how much it will mean for us. But now we're on to Man City, the most recent game. Patrick mentioned it. There were positives. That first half an hour, 40 minutes before that free kick that Kevin De Bruyne scored, it was fantastic football by Palace, and City just couldn't contain us. I guess we just have to do a similar approach and just not give away maybe silly fouls, because I think Kevin De Bruyne has got that talent where he can show up in the big moments. But overall, there are positives despite that result to bring into this one in the final.
Yeah, I think there are, because we know what we're capable of doing against them. We've shown what we can do before. I think the most important thing is probably just making those adjustments. I know in Glasner talked about it in the post-match interview where he talked about the fact that he told Pep that, hey, what you did, kudos to you for making that in-game adjustment, but that's not going to work against us next time. You know what I mean? So he's already dissecting what happened even that quickly in that match and making those mental notes about what we need to do differently and how we need to proceed in order to be successful. So I think that's where a lot of confidence for me personally comes from too, because you already have a situation where Glasner's been sitting on these thoughts, these ideas, these changes, they need to be made for us to come out and perform at a high level. So
yeah, in a way, I'm happy. I don't know about you, Lou, the fact that that game did happen, because there's more to learn from in losses and goals conceded than there is then in wins. Like of course, it would be nice for momentum if we beat Man City 2-0 and we could go into this game a bit more confident, saying, oh, we already beat them. But there's a lot of stuff that we can learn from City from that game. For example, some of the goals that we conceded, and especially in the second half, because I think when Glasner's talking about figuring out the system and adapting to City, I think in the second half, he just changed his approach, which it didn't really make sense because Sarr was playing good out wide. Sarr came through the middle. We put 3 midfielders. I guess in theory, it made sense, but I feel like that is what made us crumble more than in first half, where in first half, it was just individuals making mistakes. I don't think it was really the system, but that 5-3-2, we can't do that again in this game. But it's good that we've done it in the league game and go out of the way, so we know that it doesn't work.
Yeah, I think obviously it'll be a tactical battle. Both managers are very, very good tactically. I think I'm hoping we've got Pep in that situation where he's kind of overthinking, and maybe Glasner had a little bit of mind games by saying, "Don't play that system," just to test Pep, because you know Pep's a sicko. He'd be like, "I'm gonna play that system. I'm gonna play it." But to me, listen, tactics are tactics. But I said it about the Villa game. Like it's desire, man. It's throwing your body in front of things. It's our team playing, every single player playing to 100%. And I think normally I'd say City would have to like play much lower, but if any of their players are off and all our players are on, then we have a good chance. Their players have spoke about, I think Haaland done an interview saying that players have lost hunger. And it does seem like that. I think we're a real threat from set pieces as well. I don't think they defend set pieces very well. Yeah, I trust in Glasner, man. I trust in Glasner, but these games, these are moments. These are moments games. We might be under the cosh for periods of the game, and it's a bit like Villa. It might be a bit more intense because they keep the ball a bit better, so that they're quite good at pinning you in. So it might be a bit more nerve wracking. Whereas like I feel like Villa were rushing it a bit. They was trying to score so badly. City will just go side to side to side to side to side. They'll do it for 10 minutes. A bit like when we played Arsenal. Like when we get the ball, we got to be brave. We got to retain the ball. We can't just run for the whole 90 minutes. So yeah, like as much as it's a tactical battle, I feel like it's going to come down to moments and desire.
Mm-hmm. And we've got moments player, Patrick, haven't we? In Eze, which we'll talk about because of course he's had a great FA Cup run. But before we actually get into Eze, did anyone see City's most recent game against Southampton? They created chances, but you know, Southampton played a similar kind of system to us, maybe a bit more defensive than we would do. They kind of didn't. They had one or two opportunities going forward, but barely anything. But City couldn't score against them. City struggled to keep. Well, they didn't struggle. Yeah, they did struggle. Southampton, who haven't kept the clean sheet for God knows how long, they managed to keep it against City. Does that give you a bit of confidence, Patrick, if you've seen it?
I watched the game. I mean, I'm not going to compare Southampton to us. They don't come close to being as good going forward as we are. They did use the 3 at the back system, but I'm looking at the stats from that game now. They had 2 shots on goal, none on target. 20% possessions, right? Southampton. So we're not going to be that defensive. And I did see the Ruben Diaz comments after complaining about how they were playing anti-football. I don't know what he expected Southampton to do, go all out and get beat 7-0. Would have been to Diaz's liking, I'm sure. But it did show that you can frustrate City, which is good. I don't think we'd be as defensive as Southampton would be. I would hate to think we would be low blocking it the way they did. But there will be opportunities for us to counter-attack. We've got the speed and ability in Sarr, Eze, and obviously Mateta. Our midfield are creative, and obviously we got Munoz as a very important attacking option on the right. Obviously Mitchell a little bit less so on the left, but no, I took encouragement from that. The fact that they were easily frustrated. That might be something that Glasner might want to do for the first 20 minutes. I know when we watch a lot of games, people get upset at what we're trying to do, but maybe for the first 20 minutes we just mid-block it for a while, frustrate them, and see how they are, and then we all know how good he is at making adjustments, Glasner. So maybe that's how we play a little bit, not a low block, but a mid block, and could just frustrate them because they're easily frustrated. City, they can be frustrated very easily. Players like Haaland and De Bruyne can get frustrated. So let's see how that goes. But as far as that Southampton game, I took some pieces from that, but there's no way Paz played the way that Southampton play against them on Saturday. I can't see it.
Yeah, Sarr's going to be massive for us, T. That's in my opinion. I think Sarr, he basically destroyed City at the start of that game. And in this one, we'll see who he faces. But in opposition preview, if you haven't already seen it, go check it out. There is that dilemma. City don't know who they're going to play out wide. They can play O'Reilly potentially as a left back and Nunes as a right back, or they could put Gvardiol there. So when Lou's talking about Pep overthinking it, based on what Sarr done in the previous game, could he change the system? But for us, I do think we've got enough in attack and free to hurt City defensively, and they haven't been great.
Yeah, I mean, it is. He does have a wealth of options. I think. Did he play O'Reilly when we played them last? Was
Yeah,
it
yeah,
O'Reilly
he
that was in there
started-
last
started
time?
He
on
definitely did. He definitely played O'Reilly.
He scored.
And then and yeah, he scored. And then
He was
I
the
think
best
what
player
the,
that day.
the guy on the previews thinks they're gonna play Vardio over there.
Well, potentially
And
he's
play
saying
Kanji.
They'll play a Kanji and Diaz at the back with
Yeah.
Vardy left.
and that's the
And-
problem that he said he could have as well. So he's basically saying defensively they're not secure. He's saying if they play Gvardio out wide, then that means Akanji's playing through the middle, and he's worried about Akanji versus Mateta. And
Mhm.
there's the other dilemma where he can play O'Reilly there, which O'Reilly is meant to be a midfielder, and he's only 19 years old playing left back. And if you basically have Munoz and Sarr running towards him, his positioning, as we saw even in the previous game, is not that great. So he's saying, depending on what Pep does, there are alternatives for Palace to still hurt this City side. So even if Vardio plays out wide and is a better defender than O'Reilly, then Mateta might be having more opportunities against Akanji, who hasn't been
And
that great.
Akanji's been hurt, correct?
Yeah. He's coming back from injury and he hasn't been that great. So,
That's another thing.
so that's what I'm saying. So as long
Yeah.
as our front three are clinical as we were in the semi-final and have been recently, to be fair, as it's going into this game in great form, I think we've got enough players there to hurt City's defense, despite their rotations.
Yeah, I mean our attacking three is been playing really well. Our back three has been playing really well. So if we just pull it all together,
Yeah,
we need to not make the same mistake Forest done and be switched on from the start, because that early goal can kill a game plan and confidence. So I'm with Pat. Keep it tight like we normally do, man. Frustrate them. Try and just our fans. We got to be that extra person, because City fans aren't going to be how we are. And they spoke about it. Even I think Gabriel Bognor was on TalkSport saying he hadn't seen nothing like that before at Wembley, and how if he was one of the Palace players, he would have give everything. It would have given him that extra bit on the pitch.
Yep.
And obviously that's what we have to do regardless of what's going on in the game in those first 20 minutes.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think for us the main question really is the midfield. Let's quickly talk about it, because I think the defense is pretty much selected itself. Gahey, by the way, who wasn't playing in the previous game, he's going to be available for this one, so that's going to be a plus as well. We don't have Gahey against City away from home, and it's going to be Lacroix, Chris Richards, hopefully, and Munoz and Mitchell, so long as everyone's fit. Now midfield, Walton, if he's 90% fit, I guess we can all agree that he still starts, right?
I know last time we went round guessing who's going to start, and Glasner got it spot on. So I think we should all agree to just whatever.
But who would you prefer
against
City?
No preference. Whoever he puts out is the player that's gonna.
He said, "I'm with the gaffer."
Yeah,
I'm all with the gaffer, but I'm just saying from basic.
I don't know. I can't. This is because Kamada doesn't look as good with Hughes and Lerma in there. Wharton's got fitness issues potentially. So whatever, because I feel like they're not going to release anything this week on training stuff. As you see in this, it's all been media done before. They're going to be using that type of stuff. There's not going to be any training
It's a good
stuff.
start, they haven't done anything.
You can tell.
Has there been any photos even released? I haven't seen any
Because
photos.
as much as he spoke about, they're not talking about the final until the Spurs game. As soon as that whistle went, that's all it was. And I feel like they've, if anything, they're probably locked in together. Like this is the next 5-6 days of the biggest preparation. Like we're not going to leave no stone unturned. We're not going to let anything off. You can do your media, but you're not having anything from after this Spurs game. Like this is us. And that's how I'd probably like a little cult. They're like a little cult in there. And everyone's going to play their position, whether you're not in the squad, you're in the squad. Do you know what I mean? It's from every single. I feel like he's that type of person who's going to get. He wants that type of environment for this game.
So for me, to answer these questions, for me, if Wharton can start, it's Wharton and Kamara to me definitely starting, and if Wharton can't start, it's Hughes and Lerma. Yeah. Because as Louis said, I think the combinations work best that way. And either one, but I'm fine with. Obviously, I think Hughes and Lerma is more defensively compact, which is fine. But I think Wharton and Kamara proved in the semi-final how good they can be, and even since then. And I'd love to see them play together again in the big game. And I think that Kamara has something to prove against City because of what he did in that first match. He's a big game player. If you don't know anything about him, he played great in the Europa League final. He's played great in the games against teams in London. He can play in the big time game. He's proven that he can. He's adjusting now. Exactly.
Been there before.
He can adjust. Yeah. So for me, again, it's Wharton, Kamada. If Wharton's 100% fit, if he can't start, go with Lerman, Hughes, and if you have to make the adjustment and bring on Wharton and Kamada later on, that would be great for me. So that's why I would play.
But we were speaking before. This 11 players don't win this game. 15, 16 win this game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the whole team. Exactly, it's the whole team.
It's the players that could come on. It's every single person, man.
Yeah. But we made a good point though about City and scoring early goals because they scored an early goal, I believe, against United in a cup final.
First 20 seconds. I think
that
FA Cup goal. That was an absolute banger though. That was quite. Gundogan volley.
So as long as we don't start slow, I think for the first 10, 15 minutes, just grow into the game because against City, funny enough, we started fast last time around when it was at their ground, but we've seen that at Palace before. Like the first 10, 15 minutes, we're kind of figuring the team out and we're like, all right, how we're going to approach this, how we're going to make small adjustments and then just still stay in the game. So if that's the case of City pressing us and like pressuring us, survive that. Do not concede an early goal. And City's got it in them. So I think the players need to be switched on from the start. For UT, in terms of the midfield, do you agree with everyone's statement in terms of Wharton and Kamada? And also, if it is Wharton and Kamada, are you worried about that potentially because of Kamada? There was a lot of focus on him in the last game against City after that free kick.
I don't worry about it because not only do they play really well together between Kamada and Wharton, I don't worry about their work rate. I think they both give all the effort you need going forward as much as they do defending. And the nice thing, the thing I really, really like about having those two in particular compared to any other combination is the fact that they can start a lethal counterattack on either side of that midfield. You don't have to count on Wharton to be the guy to make that incisive forward-threading pass. Kamada can do it too, and he's not afraid to do it either. And he can push the ball. He can carry it at his feet as well. So I think that's what makes them.
I think he's got a really good switch of play as well, something that Lerman struggles with.
Yep.
The big switch to Munoz, Kamada's got that all day long, especially on the Wembley pitch.
Exactly.
Because he played some lovely balls to Munoz in the semis, didn't he?
Semis,
a couple times.
He did.
Yeah, a beautiful weighted pass to Tide that got into the box one time too, and I was like, man,
and the ball to Sarr.
Yeah. And for City, I guess it's more of a problem because now you've got two players who can make that pass rather than focus on Wharton.
Right.
So they can't focus on Wharton. So hopefully it gives a bit more opportunity to Wharton. But yeah, look, we're here. With no score predictions as we did for the semi-finals. It's time. We're approaching it, but go on.
I want to add one more thing. Joe Ward, obviously, it will be his last. He's leaving past the end of the season. So my question to you guys is: he was in the squad for the Villa game. Would you have him in the squad for this game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fair. I think so. I
agree. I think he has to be in it. I mean, giving so much to the club. He's been a great servant to the club. Hasn't played that much this season.
Who drops out?
I looked at the semi-final. It will be Kapora. It will be Kapora.
But I feel like I'd rather Kapora than Franco or Esse sometimes. Maybe.
That could be the other one. That could be the other one, I guess. France. Last time it was France and Kapora dropped out for the semi, so that would be.
But he said he prefers to have attackers. So
right. So
yeah,
I wanted to bring that up because
Wardy will do a special episode. When after this, hopefully after we'll win this cup, we'll focus on if we win it. But yeah, it's gonna be. That's what I'm saying. They got Kevin De Bruyne leaving. We got Joe Ward leaving, and Wardy's been a great servant. He's been a great servant, and he understands that as well. Like all the players have to do is go watch that video, and then you can understand how much it'll mean for him.
Brilliant.
Could you imagine the praying going on if we win at that final whistle? Wembley turns into a multi-faith centre.
I know. I'll be praying. We win that cup. I'll be praying. Trust me. I'll be praising the Lord.
Man, the scary thing is I haven't even thought about a loss. Like if we win that cup, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I know I won't be inside for at least 48 hours. But let's see. Let's see what happens. But look, that's it from us. Of course, there'll be no match reaction on the day because we're all going to the game. We're all busy as well. However, there'll be a live watch along. We'll be starting a bit earlier. It'll be with Tim and Alex. Maybe whilst we're going to the ground, we'll see if there's any connection. I might call into the show as well. But yeah, we're here. As you can tell, I'm a bit nervous right now as I'm ending the show because next time we speak to each other, we might either be depressed or we might be the happiest people on earth. so yeah, let's just see. But appreciate you all. Get behind the team, get behind the players, and hopefully we can get the job done. But that's it from us. Until next time, up the Palace.